My name's Mandy Grace. I own Mandy Grace Designs. I've been on island about 16 years, and about 14, 15 of that has been doing floral design. I started in a kind of a interesting way. In college, I needed extra money, so I worked at a flower shop, and then they got busy on a Valentine's Day, and they threw me in. I made my first dozen roses, and kind of just fell in love with the process. Like, you are given this bucket of flowers, you create something, and then you hand it off to somebody that brings a huge smile to their face. So that was kind of the jumping off point of me in the floral design world. I think my most favorite thing is the relationships that I build with my bride and groom. The way that I feel like, do our approach to design and creating an event for somebody is really getting to know the couple, really getting to know who they are as a couple, the design in their house, where they shop, different things like that. I don't think our questions that I ask them are typically normal. They don't really start with flowers. They start with who they are. And I've always said this in every meeting, every client I've ever met, like, the biggest compliment is for a guest to walk into your wedding and say, "Oh, this is so Amy and Joe. Like, this looks like something that they would have in their backyard, except elevated times 1,000 or whatever." I'm not much of a Pinterest person. I feel like Pinterest kind of guides a design in a specific way that doesn't really reflect a client and who they are. So most of the time when we work with clients, I a lot of times don't have them look at Pinterest. I don't have them look at magazines. I don't have them, because I believe that, like, the reason that they are getting married and coming together is a very unique combination of masculine and feminine. So I want to be able to relay that in the design. So one of the greatest things about Hawaii and the couples that it attracts is we typically get multi-day events, which is my favorite. In those multi-day, we really get to walk through a very adventurous design aesthetic. We get to hit upon the tropical, what people come here for. And then we take that kind of unique color story and approach that in different ways as we move through design. So each day is something different. Wedding day is something really beautiful. And then maybe they have a brunch at the end to send guests off. Probably what sets us apart, in my opinion, would be more of our approach to the whole design. We source everything from different textiles or the candles on the table to making sure that the flatware and the plates and everything, that it's a whole cohesive design. So we really work a lot with the planner, everybody involved, the rental company, if they're doing rigging. Like, there's a lot of production meetings, there's a lot of meetings just to make sure, like, that wedding day, we're all in that dance together. I think one of the visual aspects that we look towards a lot is runway, and with runway is the set of a color. So runway typically tends to at least be a year, if not more, ahead of what we're actually bringing into the color story of a wedding day. So with that, we kind of see the trickle down of color, and we try to, like, streamline a lot of those avenues and kind of see what they're already doing. With that being said, we're always trying to source new vessels. We're trying to, each wedding that we do, a lot of the things we're doing is brand new. We're not trying to pitch a vessel that we have on the shelf. I think all of those different type of textiles and colors and everything drive the whole aesthetic of the wedding. I think the most important thing for the bride and the groom is you have a connection that you really feel, because it's a destination and you're putting all this trust into these different entities, that they're really going to show up and they're going to bring your vision and that they are really working for you. A planner has a set of preferred vendors for a reason, and I think that the trust has been built there. I truly am. I really love what I do. I love that I get to sit down and have these conversations and get to know them, and when they walk away, we have this, like, little piece of these really special moments. Like, we get to hear all the really beautiful things that they bring together, and they're so in love, and they're in this magical place, and they're planning their wedding, and they're so happy that when we get to sit with them, like, they're 9 out of 10 times, this is the best. I mean, I always start the meeting saying, this is the best part of your day. Well, to me it is, because to me it is. But the design process, the flowers are, like, once the flowers are laid on the table, like, the event takes place. Like it comes to life. And I always tell people that if you're watching your event, like you're like, is anything ever happening out there? Is anybody doing anything? And our team arrives and it's like, do, and flowers and tables and everything's like put down, and all of a sudden it just like comes to life.